last two periods of Writers Week 21. It's sad. It's sad. Our next performer is a fan favorite, okay? She's been here a number of times, but really quick, we got to do some thanks. And can I ask you to put away your cell phones and your iPads and all those fun devices? Thank you, yeah. Now, I'm going to do something that hasn't been done yet this year, and it's been done in the past by Mr. Grant Dawson, who's a good friend of mine. You can clap for him real quick if you want. He's pretty cool. He's kind of a cool guy, kind of a big deal. Now, in the past, he's done a one clap sort of thing, applause for everyone that is thanked up here. So I'll just say somebody, and I'll say 1, 2, 3, and you do a one clap. So let's practice right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, fantastic. All right. So really quick, we want to thank the boosters. 1, 2, 3. We want to thank the maintenance crew who did an awesome job setting things up here this week. 1, 2, 3. We want to thank the tech crew. They've been flawless. They've been making this thing run. They're fantastic. 1, 2, 3. We want to thank Miss Gina Ank and Mr. Russ Anderson for putting this together. They're awesome. 1, 2, 3. We want you to thank your teachers who brought you here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, I want you to thank yourselves because you've been great. All right, I know my 7th hour class has been fantastic. So 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Also, a couple things. The Writers Week store is still open. All right, and in the Writers Week store, there is a Sierra DeMolder shirt. Okay, it's like a burnt orange. They're all okay. The model is burnt orange. She also has a couple shirts up here. They look like this. This one won't fit me, so I'm not going to put it on. She has a few books up here as well. All right, we have The Bones Below. Yeah, and we have New Shoes on a Dead Horse. I love that title, actually. It's fantastic. Look at that. All right, one second. Let me put these down. How much are they going for? She'll tell you later. I love the mystery. All right. Now, without further ado, we have our internationally touring performance poet and educator, 2-time National Poetry Slam champ, author of the books I just said, recipient of the 2014 McKnight Fellowship. She's featured on NPR and Huffington Post, if you've heard of those. And she's always a fan favorite at Writers Week, Miss Sierra DeMolder.
Hi. Hello. That's the first thing I heard. Hi, I'm so happy to be here. My name is Sierra DeMolder. I am a internationally touring performance poet and educator. I run a high school poetry slam camp every summer. Yeah, I'll tell you about that later. I was thinking that in the past 3 times that I've been here, I'm not sure if I talked about my history at all, so I'm going to say it in about 2 minutes. I was an angsty teenager, and I wrote poetry in my journal, and I was a painter, and I went to school to be a painter, and I was in school painting a lot, and it just wasn't doing it for me, and I discovered spoken word. I discovered that spoken poetry didn't have to be frigid, it didn't have to be isolating, it didn't have to stick to any form, and that it could actually communicate something and be performative. And I started writing. I won the National Poetry Slam twice. I've ranked 9th at the Individual World Poetry Slam in 2009. I ranked 8th in the Individual World Poetry Slam for women in 2014. And I got 2 books published. So right now, my job is to do this wonderful thing. My job is not as a cookie cutter as I thought it was going to be when I was in high school. I thought I was going to be a nurse or a painter or a doctor. No, it was mostly just a painter or like a dog walker. But I just... so right now I perform 6 months out of the year, and I also teach and run workshops and things like that. I just wanted to say that really quickly before I got started, if you were wondering like how the heck someone is a spoken word poet for a living. So hi, how's everybody doing? Good. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm super jet lagged. I got back from Germany on Wednesday. I was sent to Germany. I was flown to Germany by the Department of Urban Culture of Munich to perform. And so I performed my poems in English for an audience of like 600 German speakers who understood, 90 to 97% of it. And that was amazing. So if I am cross-eyed later when I look at you, it's because I'm really sleepy, but I'm super happy to be here. Okay, enough intro, right? Yeah? All right. How many people performed at Writers Week? Can you make some noise? All of you performed if you did? Wait, or are you just making noise for people? Okay, okay. Well, next year or something. All right. I want to know the joke. Oh, cool. I think we're inside right now. Dear you, whoever you are, however you got here, this is exactly where you are supposed to be. This moment has waited its whole life for you. This moment is your lover and you are a soldier. Come home, baby. It's over. You don't need to suffer anymore. Dear you, this moment is your surprise party. You are both hiding in the dark and walking through the door. This moment is a hallelujah. This moment is your permission slip to finally open that love letter you've been hiding from yourself. The one you wrote when you were little, when you still danced like a sparkler at dusk. Do you remember the moment you realized they were watching? When you became ashamed of how much light you were holding? When you first learned how to unlove yourself? Dear you, the word today means amen in every language. Today, we made it. Today, I'm gonna love you. Today, I'm gonna love myself. Today, the box cutter will rust in the garbage. Today, the noose will forget how to hold you. Today, dear you, and I have always meant you. Nothing would be the same if you did not exist. You, who were once as small as a bouquet, who slept in the laps of strangers, nothing would be the same if you did not exist. You, whose voice is someone's favorite voice, someone's favorite face to wake up to, nothing would be the same if you did not exist. You, the teacher, the starter's gun, the lantern in the night who offers not a way home, but the courage to travel farther into the dark. You, the lover who worships the taste of her body, who is the largest tree ring in his heart, who does not let fear ration your love. You, the friend, the sacred chorus of how can I help you, who have felt more numb than holy, more cracked than mosaic, who have known the tiles of a bathroom by heart, who have forgotten what makes you worth it. You, the forgiven, the forgiver who belongs right here in this moment. You, this clump of cells, this happy explosion that happened to start breathing, and by the grace of whatever is up there, you got here. You made it this whole way, through the nights that swallowed you whole, the mornings that arrived in pieces, the scabs, the gravel, the doubt, the hurt, the hurt is over today. You made it. You made it. You made it here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to do some of my old stuff that you've maybe heard before, or some new stuff. I'm going to read some shorter poems and some longer poems like you just saw. I always say this, that short poems in a slam poetry performance are always kind of like an awkward community experience, because when I finish the short poem, you're like this. Oh, is she done? Okay. So when I finish the poem, you can do whatever you want. You can snap, you can make an animal sound if you want, you can clap. I'll keep going. Cool? Sound good? Sound good? Thanks. All right. I used to tutor at a English learning center for adults who were immigrants who English wasn't their first language, and this poem is about that. The woman I am tutoring at the Adult ESL Learning Center has a tiny diamond in the middle of her tooth. Technically, it's her lateral incisor. I know this from the hours I've spent in a dentist chair, memorizing a family tree of gnawing to distract myself from the stranger's hand crawling inside my mouth, which I tell myself feels nothing like drowning. I lie to this woman now, too. We are practicing English sentences, useful ones like, I would like to buy 2, please, and yes, I love America. Her hijab smells saccharin. Her henna-dipped fingernails like small cuspids bite into her pencil. We read a story about a man who works as a truck driver. We read a story about a sick boy who needs to lay down. I ask her if she understands the word cushion. She says yes, to be careful. I explain the word caution. We read a story about a lion. I ask her if she knows the word pray. She says yes, Allah, and points to the ceiling. I try to explain how 2 words can look different but sound the same. And this is what we want, isn't it? No tilde, no timbre. This woman is learning English because here we are not dogs. We can only hear sounds in our own frequency. No other package could deliver to us a present worth opening. I wonder if she too feels as though she is suffocating with a stranger's hand pushing a brand new shiny tongue into her throat. She smiles, and her lips pull back the curtain to reveal her tiny, pin-sized star. She asks me if I pray, and I say yes, yes. Thank you. Hey, we've got some bovines in here. That means cows. Okay, just kidding. Okay, existential crisis brought forth by complaining about my boyfriend. At the bar, over a basket of cheese curds, I tell my best friend how sometimes I jokingly refer to my boyfriend as an emotional robot. He is not, of course, a robot, nor is he emotionless, but he is incredibly calculated and analytical, unable or unwilling to be emotionally stimulated beyond the realm of happy or full. I, on the other hand, feel emotions in technicolor. I emote not unlike a blender on high with lots of ice and no lid. My friend laughs, takes another long pull from his Manhattan and says, no, if he was a robot, you could just program him. This is true. Another moment in my life when my friends are accidentally staggering and it isn't just the bourbon. In a few drinks, I walk home alone in the almost spring but not spring weather. I can see my breath. An eager child running into the road before me. I watch it spill out and fade like a carbon copy of my heartbeat. I am here, am I here? I wonder if I'm just programmed this way, to unearth the body just after burying it, to find happiness and then, like a video game, start over. Shit, I mean really, if either of us are robots, it's probably me, the one who always makes the same wrong turn, who doesn't get lost but drives until the gas runs out, the one who doesn't feel pretty until she is told she is pretty. In other words, the one who doesn't go until she is told to go, who doesn't believe in God but can't find her own remote, the glitchy one, the skipping record, the I love you, repeat, I love re-break, I love re-break. I've made this mistake before. I've looked into the face of love and said, no, not now, but meant today. I have pushed love into a mirror and blamed it for shattering me. This is what I think about as I crawl slowly into bed next to a very warm, very breathing body. I curl myself under his arm and fall asleep listening to the buzz of all his machinery. Thanks. Okay, so I don't normally perform this poem anymore, and I'm trying to retire it, but it's still super. Hey, a quarter! It's for me, thanks. I'm just gonna stare at it now. Get your face out of here. So I don't normally, I'm trying to retire this poem because it's getting a little outdated, because nobody knows this song anymore. But how many people here listen to Katy Perry? Cool. How many people here have ever heard of her song, You're So Gay? You can YouTube it, yeah? So I perform this poem because it's fun and still incredibly relevant, and yeah. So this poem begins with a terrible quote. I can't believe I fell in love with someone who wears more makeup than I do. I hope you hang yourself with your H&M scarf while jacking off listening to Mozart. Katy Perry from her single, You're So Gay. Katy, when you have a child, I hope the ultrasound technician makes a mistake. I hope you buy everything in pink. I hope you purchase Barbies and nail polish in bulk. I hope you pick the most delicate name like Petunia or Lavender. I hope you get everything personalized, and I hope you lose all your receipts. When that fateful day comes and your body opens itself like a gift, Katy, I hope you have a boy. I hope your son comes out of your womb so flaming your vagina is permanently bedazzled. I hope his first words are the lyrics to Rent. I hope his first steps are shuffle, shuffle, ball change, jazz hands. On Halloween, I hope he dresses up as a Powerpuff Girl or Barbra Streisand. Katy, when your son Lavender goes to prom, I hope he wears a velvet gown. I hope that boy feels beautiful. I hope he loves to dance. The DJ will have a thing for oldies that night, a craving for the good old days of auto-tune. He will play your song, the one that bullies masculinity, that uses your son's identity as a checklist for what real men don't do, don't care about your body, don't care about your clothing, don't cry, don't glitter, don't dance, don't love his body like Broadway lights, don't love like a proud saxophone. Katy, it's official. You've made making fun of gay people cool again. Why don't you just release a line of designer no homo handbags or a fragrance called Ignorance by Katy Perry? Why don't you just write a song called I like to pigeonhole my lovers into caveman archetypes so I can be content being a submissive woman, but I'm secretly afraid of gay people because I want to be the only princess at the party. Katy, if someone wrote a song called You're So Jewish, or I Kissed a Black Man, no red carpet would bloom before them. No one would celebrate lyrics listing all the ways you think Koreans or people with disabilities are less worthy of your love. Now, Katy, I like my lovers with a little glitter. I like men who can talk about poetry and who aren't afraid of the tampon monster. I like men who admit they cry during Shrek Ever After and Where the Wild Things Are like I did. So Katy, when your son Lavender comes home from prom, his makeup smeared, his tiara still shining, I hope you have answers, Katy. I hope you tell that boy you are proud. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. How many people here are in love? Is that a resounding yes or a resounding like, hell no, love doesn't exist here? Okay. How many people here have a crush on someone? How many people have a crush on someone in this room right now? How many people have ever had a crush on someone who was with somebody else? Oh, girl, that sucks. All right. How many people here have ever felt any emotion ever? Great, we've got something in common. All right. I was in love with one of my best friends for 3+ years. And I like to say all I got was this stupid poem. Not even a t-shirt. Oh, the awing is already starting. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. That's my intro. I forgot that's it. Okay, cool. Here's the poem. I have a funny story about it afterwards. Cool? You're going to remind me to tell you? Because I will forget. Because technically I'm in Germany right now and it's 9 p.m. All right. This is on watching someone you love somebody else. You will be out with friends when the news of her existence is accidentally spilled all over your bar stool. Respond calmly, as if it was only a change in weather, a punchline you saw coming. After your 4th shot of cheap liquor, leave the image of him kissing another woman in the toilet. In the morning, her name will be in every headline: car crash, robbery, flood. When he calls you, ignore the hundreds of ropes untangling themselves in your stomach. You are the best friend again. When he invites you over for dinner, say yes too easily. Remind yourself, this isn't special. It's only dinner. Everyone has to eat. When he greets you at the door, do not think for 1 second you are the reason he wore cologne tonight. Someone told you once that a soulmate is not the person who makes you the happiest, but the one who makes you feel the most, who can conduct your heart to bang the loudest, who can drag you giggling with forgiveness from the cellar they locked you in. It has always been him. In his kitchen, he will hand feed you a piece of red pepper. His laugh will be low and warm, and it will make you feel like candlelight. Do not think this is special. Do not count on your fingers the number of freckles you could kiss too easily. Try to think of pilot lights or olive oil, not everything you have ever loved about him, or will suddenly feel boiling and possible and so close. You will find her bobby pins lying innocently on his bathroom sink. Her bobby pins. They look like the wiry legs of spiders, splinters of her undressing in his bed. Do not say anything. Think of stealing them, wearing them home in your hair. When he hugs you goodbye, let him kiss you on the forehead. Settle for target practice. At home, you will picture her across town, pressing her fingers into his back like wet cement. You will wonder if she looks like you, if you are 2 bedrooms in the same house. Did he fall for her features like rearranged furniture? When he kisses her, does she taste like wet paint? You will want to call him. You will go as far as holding the phone in your hand. Imagine telling him unimaginable things like, you are always ticking inside of me, and I dream of you more often than I don't. My body is a dead language, and you pronounce each word perfectly. Do not call him. Fall asleep to the hum of the VCR. She must make him happy. She must be his favorite place in Minneapolis. You are a souvenir shop where he goes to remember how much people miss him when he's gone. Thank you. Story. So that poem's on YouTube, and my favorite thing on the internet is that someone commented, but really, who owns a VCR anymore? Second favorite thing on the internet is someone responded to that and said, I think it's a metaphor for living in the past. Nope. Nope. All right. Oh, I'm gonna do a new poem. That was my story. There's another story about it that it's too long. All right. This is a brand new poem. I've only read it twice. Congrats. What? It's like a baby for you. You are all parents to this piece of paper with words on it. God, I should think out my jokes a little bit longer. All right. My sister, I write a lot about my own process of recovery, and I write a lot about my own feelings and healing. And this poem is kind of about what it is to be that support system for someone, how to help and support the people who are healing. So this is for my sister. Blackberry briar, hunter's daughter, ocean-eyed mermaid. When my sister needs to talk, I extend my arms towards her like a child asking to be held. I turn my palms upward as if donating blood and let her empty the contents of her day on me. The words file out, orderly at first, and then a swarm spilling over me like the soft swell of a mushroom cloud until I do not remember where I begin and her need ends. This is what it's like to love the healing. Once I held a newborn baby in my arms. 3 weeks old, naked as truth comes, she felt so small. Her heartbeat a moth I trapped between my palms. This is what it's like to love the healing. If my sister's eating disorder were a person, it would be a teenager by now. I imagine it. Doorknobs for knees, long, graceful fingers like the legs of ballerinas, the beaks of cranes. It would have a favorite book, a locker combination, a best friend, her. I tell her I won't let her live in my house if she lets it sleep over. I tell her I can't see it, but I know it's there. I tell her nothing and just let that cloud of her day rise like dough, milkweed woman, catacomb breast. This is how to love the healing. To be not the sound, but the receptacle. To be not the therapist, but the stop after. To be not the paint, not even the blank canvas, but the bed the artist crawls back to. Tonight, I rub my sister's shoulders. My thumbs mistake her back for the staircase in her childhood home. She tells me that she is scared, that the waves are rising and the ship is begging to become driftwood. The hounds are howling tonight, and the moon is so full it could burst. She tells me that she has been symptom-free for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. It feels so small. A newborn, a whisper, a fluttering of smothered wings. But sister, this is what it's like to heal, to get up again and again after the waves come, to retrain the hounds of your body. Dragonfly, child of stone and moss, you are dancing this dance you know by heart. You are crawling out from under yourself. Sap collector, spring drinker, you are drawing a map to forgiveness, where you live, where you already are, you just don't know it yet. Perfect isn't where we're from, and we wouldn't like it there anyway. Big sister, Little Dipper, who taught me how to sing the way light streams through a window, how to live boldly and without shame. Sister, when we were little, I didn't know what it was like to face the dark, twisting woods behind our house alone. When I think of what courage is, sweet sapling, falcon of a woman, I see your hand reaching back for me, leading me into the forest, into the unknown, the seam of your shoulder, the horizon of your voice, saying, look, I've got you, I'm here. Blackberry briar, gardener's daughter, you were made to walk through this. You were born to travel that long journey into yourself. Look into the distance, I'm there if you need me, arms open, ready to listen, ready to sing. Sweet sister, I've got you. I'm here. Thank you. You want to hear another new poem? Yeah. 5 people are like, no. Password. I remember the first time I came to Writers Week 5 years ago. I had a little, what are those tiny computers called? I'm 80 years old apparently. But the first little laptops that were like this big, okay? Yes, thank you. I don't know why that was so exciting. So I had a little netbook and I brought it on stage. I'm like, I'm gonna read out of them my huge calculator. And no one laughed at that joke. and no one laughed again, okay. Things don't change. All right, so like I said, I'm a full-time performer and teacher, but this past year I did take a job at a domestic violence shelter, living in a sustainability, working in the sustainability department, and you'll hear about it. This is a brand new poem, super, super new, has only been heard by like my friend. So here we go. Tyler, 7 years old, pops his smiling head into my office, teeth like a handful of scattered corn, and says, Miss Sierra, your hair looks disastrous. He is not incorrect. Last night, I was up late performing poetry at a university on the other side of the country. Flew home this morning before the sun had a chance to wake up, did my makeup in the airport bathroom, and drove straight here to my day job at the transitional housing unit of a domestic violence shelter. In this program, residents can stay for 2 years. To qualify, they must be victims of domestic violence, fall under the poverty line, and be homeless at the time of the lottery drawing for those coveted keys. There are only 13 apartments, always full, and my office sits nestled between 2 of them. David, 9, lopes through my office door, asks me if the library is open. Backstory: once I convinced a howling pack of 7 children under the age of 10 to play library instead of their usual style of throwing applesauce on my wall while screaming the lyrics to Taylor Swift. They whisper now, read, and draw out their imagination on recycled fax paper. My office, a hushed secret. Now, every day, I have sticky-fingered philosophers knock and say, "Is it open yet?" David likes school. His uniform is a starched cotton t-shirt that reads "college bound" in big letters on the back. The words seem to weigh on his tiny shoulders, heavier every day. David doesn't always go to school. Sometimes when his mother is sick, he needs to stay home and look after his siblings like Tessa. Tessa is 3 years old, going on 30. She walks boldly into my office as if she not only owns the place, but is there to collect rent, leans her small head against me like a baby bird and asks in all sincerity, "Why you got a boyfriend? 'Cause I seen you eating pizza." I have no clue what she meant, but I'm pretty sure that she's a genius, or maybe a prophet, or a reincarnation of Nietzsche, or maybe angels take the forms of 3-year-olds, because in that moment, caught in a belly laugh that radiated through my whole body, Tessa opened my desk drawer, pulls out my comb, and begins to brush my hair. The children are my favorite part about this job. Even when the rank smell of urine from their clothing floods my office, they aren't all good mothers here, but they are women, givers, survivors, who still flinch when I hand them a business card too much like a fist, I guess. The hardest part about this job is not watching a mother of 3 work 2 jobs while trying to find therapy and a new apartment in a neighborhood that won't eat her boys alive. The hardest part is watching her children, these green-stemmed darlings, suffocate in pots too small for them to grow in. Here in America, we think that you can just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We think that if you work hard enough, good things will come, but some of us were born with opportunities spoon-fed to us from a silver platter, and some of us were born into coffins. In 5 years, David could stop going to school. He could have been teased for having dirty clothing, 5 siblings, no father, tell your mother to close her legs. Tessa could have lived in 5 different cities before she turned 13. She could look for love that she wanted, the love that all children deserve, in the mouth of the beast that swallowed her mother. I imagine her 16 and pregnant, carrying her life in a suitcase as bent as her mother's spine, and in 10 years, Tyler should be a high school graduate. But we all know what happens to brown boys who carry their heads too high. The American dream is not that we all have a chance at a better life. It is the fallacy that we all have a chance. It is the carrot we dangle in front of 100 legless horses just to watch them struggle in the mud. When she is done combing my hair, Tessa pretends to braid it. She is too little to understand the sleight of hands, the pattern, twisting my hair into spiraling roots. She is gentle, even for a child, making sure to ask if it hurts, if I am okay. I don't tell her that I am scared. I don't tell her that I believe in her capacity to grow and blossom and bloom, just not the system built to weed her out. I tell her, no, it doesn't hurt. It's okay. You're doing a good job. Thanks. Okay, we're gonna do. Oh, I'm running out of time. Sorry. I'm gonna do one more poem and then we'll do Q&A. Sound good? All right. My friend Ariel and I worked together in a restaurant. The first 3 weeks of our friendship, the only things I said to her were, "Where the heck is the ketchup?" And "Oh my God, this mop smells like oranges and ass." At the same time. Ariel walks into every room like she is late for something, but she left her give a shit at home. Between shifts, we bond over awesome things like knitting or Ani DeFranco, and I've slowly acquired the following fascinating facts about her life. She rides a motorcycle. She can make herself burp on command, which she does musically, and she once owned a pet bunny named Nell, spelled with a silent G, that she used to carry around in her sweater when she went out to the bar every night. Live animal. This, I learned, was before the rehab. Ariel tells me she's not the type of person who needed rehab, but says she knows herself more because of it. I believe her. There is something about people who have seen their own wild darkness, who have had sadness cast itself like iron before them, the ones who mistook that empty hallway of depression for a mirror. Ariel has 6 fat scars like the rungs of a ladder down her forearm. I've never asked her about them, and I don't want to. I already know everything she has to say. I, too, have seen what spills from this body. I, too, have listened to the dull lullaby of the bathtub drain, fantasized about how many refrains it would take to end it. I have thought about ending it, getting off this carousel. Depression is a black sheep. We all have one, but some of us still talk to it. Some of us haven't disowned it yet. Looking back, I am thankful this body is an obedient machine. It will keep doing what it's doing until it is told not to. Looking back, I am surprised at how few scars I have, how I actually survived myself. My favorite thing about Ariel is her tattoos. They're awful. Ariel has a tattoo of a mermaid above each of her breasts. They look like they were drawn by my 5-year-old niece on sleeping pills. Depending on the shirt she wears or what day it is, they look more like pickles than sea creatures. And I tell her I love her tattoos. I love that they're messed up. Shit, I love that she's messed up. I love that she was messed up and got her shit together. These days, I don't own a box cutter. These days, I don't grind my teeth while I'm sleeping, and this was never meant to be a poem. This is only meant to be a reminder that you and I are never truly alone in all this. Whatever you felt last night, whatever needle was stitching its initials into your heart was felt by 100 other hearts. Whatever growls in the darkest corner of your memory is a beast that others have fed. You are not the only person who feels ugly tonight. You are not the only person who can't seem to find the right words until the conversation is over, who doesn't know what they're doing on this carousel, who cries for no reason or never cries or only cries when you feel like your life is finally standing still and you don't know what to do when nothing is going wrong. When I told Ariel I wrote a poem about her, she called me an asshole and asked if I would read it to her while wearing a beret. I accidentally mopped her coat, which now smells like oranges and ass. It's not about always being happy. That shit is unhealthy. But you are only truly alone if you ignore all the other people who are exactly like you. Thank you so much. If you are interested, I have books for sale for $15. My t-shirts are $20. That could be negotiable. And I also have stickers. Anybody have any questions? Stickers are $1 or free. Oh, God. Well, you can come up here and ask me nicely, and then I will decide if you are worthy of a free sticker. Yes? Yes, thank you. Slam Camp. Athletic is what they call me. So Slam Camp, it's the last month in June. It's in Minnesota. It's a week-long summer camp. It's an intensive camp, so it's basically like going to half summer camp and half class. It's on spoken word, poetry slam. You can come if you are an incoming freshman all the way to an outgoing senior. You can come if you've never written a poem before. You can come if you are the best slam poet in the world. It's my favorite week in the entire year. If you want to come up to me afterwards, I will write down the name. Or it's called the Gustavus Adolphus Institute of Spoken Word and Poetry Slam. Really long, horrible title. Just look Slam Camp. Jess, is it awesome? Yes. You can ask Jess about it. You can come and ask me more about it. It's just a phenomenal time. Yes. Cool? Yes. Yes, I am performing on Sunday, but it is it's an 18 plus venue, I think. Awesome. God bless you. I miss you. Chicago, Sunday at the Green Mill Poetry Slam. Yeah, 7 or 8, cool. Yes.
What have you learned from the time that you did perform your poems?
The way I wanted to? Oh, what a great question. I think I learned, the question was, what did I learn the times that I didn't perform a poem the way I wanted to? One, that it passes, that any disappointment that you have in yourself is gone. And the people around me probably didn't notice, and if they did, you're already forgiven. Another thing is just that taking note of what you didn't like, maybe a moment that you felt. Sometimes I like close myself off, and then when I feel that way, I feel small, so I'll open myself up again. Just learning from your behaviors, practicing in front of a mirror, practicing in front of your friends, but probably mostly just forgiveness and letting it go. Yeah? Yes? Spirit animal is a fawn. Next question. How is House in Hogwarts? What do you think? I don't know. Take a guess. Gryffindor, come on. Yes? Favorite poet or poem? I've got a million of them. Right now, my favorite poet is Sharon Olds. She's an amazing traditional poet. Slam poets, I really love Guante. I really love Rachel McKibben. I love Denez Smith. Favorite poems is a poem called 1999 by Kevin Gonzalez or The Quiet World by Jeffrey McDaniels. Next question. Yellow. Tonight? Today? Out of 5 years? That's my thinking noise. I don't know. I think my favorite poem to perform is the Unrequited Love poem because I still really love it. I think I just love it. Thank you. That'd probably be my favorite, I think. But I like making you guys laugh. I like having you guys have fun. I think the second year I came here, I did a short poem about catcalling, and in it I was like talking about catcalling, and some naughty child in the audience like whistled, and in mid poem I remember I felt bad about this, but mid poem I was like, pom pom pom, shut up, mid pom 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 pom, and I apologized, and a teacher later was like, it was okay. Yes. It depends. Anywhere from an hour, like the Katy Perry poem probably took 2 hours and an hour of editing, and then the Unrequited Love poem probably took my entire life because I was repressing all of my feelings. Anywhere between 2 hours for a slam poem and then maybe a week, 2 weeks. Yeah? Yes?
What's your favorite Shakespeare novel?
Othello. Yes, for 8 seconds. Yes. I like writing about the human experience because I think we all have it in common.
Black and blue or white?
I just saw that today, and what? Gold and white. Okay, come on, I got 2 minutes left. It's so confusing. That's Hogwarts witchcraft stuff. Okay, question. Yes, in the back. I don't know. April O'Neil. Can I do the tampon poem? No, I can't. There's too many bad words in it. I'm sorry, guys. I can't hear my friend who's trying to ask me a question. Emotion? Oh, this is gonna sound really bad, but when I'm hurt, like when somebody hurt me, and I'm a little bit angry, and a little bit disappointed, and a little bit excited, I don't know. I write the best when I am feeling. I think of poetry as a way to translate my feelings to the rest of the world, the ones that are inside, and it's like the vessel. Any other questions? One more question? What keeps me coming back to Writers Week? The wonderful students. You guys are honestly one of my favorite shows that I do all year. I tell everyone about you. Okay, so you can come talk to me afterwards. You can check out my books. We can check me out online. You can give me a high five. Thank you so much. Bye.